Tonight on Beyond the Words, we're going to be talking about
how pain can deepen your relationship.
So let's get Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Words. I'm Lon.
I'm Lisa.
And this is Rufus the Doofus, chopping on his bone. Beyond the Words is a show where we talk about faith, family, and relationships. We give you some insight into our own personal story and share with you some tips that we have learned from experience how to strengthen your relationships.
Yes.
And tonight, we are going to be talking about, as Lisa said,
how pain can deepen your relationship.
That's right. That's right. We're going to be talking about that. But before we get into our main topic today, I just want to invite you guys, if you haven't already, go to our YouTube page after the show is over and click that subscribe button. We'd love to have some more subscribers. That'll help us out in our rankings. Click like and share this video with all your friends, family, and anybody you think could benefit from the craziness that we're talking about. You're not saying anything.
Huh? Well,
The craziness.
The craziness.
The craziness. Yes. It is a privilege to be here with you guys tonight, and we are thankful for you guys watching.
Yes.
And you can connect with us. We would love for you to connect with us. You can also do that by just sending us an email at lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com. That's lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com. So send us an email because we would love to hear your stories. We'd love to hear maybe some of your ideas, maybe something that you want us to talk about, give our opinion on, like it matters. I don't know. But yes, do connect with us because really, the interaction between you guys, and especially on a live show like this, is really, really great. It makes it fun, and we love that sort of thing. So, I see Lucas is joining in. Hey, Lucas, good to see you online here with us, and with so many people. And I don't know what I'm doing here.
He's trying to move the mouse all the way over to a computer.
I'm trying to move the mouse on this computer. And it won't go to that computer because they're not connected. Anywho, how was your week?
It was okay. My weekend was lonely.
Yes.
I got abandoned.
Well, we thought it was going to be just for one day. I had to go out of town for work, and we thought it'd just be for one day. Get up really early on Saturday morning, go... it's probably about an hour and a half away.
Yes.
Do what I needed to do, and then turn around and come right back. That was the plan, but then the weather kind of happened.
Yes.
And so we found out that the weather was going to be coming in at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Cincinnati. That's where I needed to go. And so instead of waiting until Saturday morning to get up and go, I decided to go ahead and drive down there while it was not snowing, get down there safely, and then hopefully by the end of the day on Saturday the snow will have been out of there. But
you were nice enough to let me buy you a steak on your way out of town.
Yes.
And then you took my car.
And then I took your car too. Well, because
how sweet.
Yes, but you weren't going anywhere, and I was driving, and I didn't want to drive in a pickup truck where there's like no weight in the back.
Yeah.
And, it's rear wheel drive. It doesn't do well in snow at all. In fact, one time I think we ended up in the ditch one time.
Yes, we did.
Years ago. Slid around and slid right into the ditch. And luckily, we were okay. We weren't going very fast or anything like that. But, we had somebody pull us out. So it's good, but kind of scary at the same time.
Yes.
So that's why I took your car, because yours does better in snow. But then, at the end of the day on Saturday, I was in Cincinnati, and I was looking around, and the roads were all pretty clear. the salt trucks had come out and distributed the salt and everything, and so I thought, and the snow had almost stopped
Right.
in Cincinnati, and so I thought, well, it's like 5 o'clock or something like well, it wasn't even 5 o'clock. It was more like 4:30 or so. And I thought, well, it's just an hour and a half of drive. Maybe I can make it back, without too many issues. And just north of Cincinnati, the snow started up, and the roads got really bad. I made it up to, as far as east of Dayton, on the east side of Dayton, and it was really, really bad. So I ended up really quickly jumping online and booking a hotel before all the hotel rooms
There was one room left,
and there was one room left, and so I'm like, Garrett, grab it, get it. So anyway, that was our weekend.
Yeah.
So
Rufus and I were all alone.
So you and Rufus were all alone.
Yeah.
And I was alone too, and I was so sad. But
then Sunday Ryan came over. And we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I made it back Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And Ryan came over and we had some fun and played some. What was it?
Super
Mario Brothers. Yes. Yeah, on the Switch.
Yes.
On the Switch.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was fun.
And he gave us.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah. These are our gifts, our Christmas gifts from Ryan.
Ooh, Rufus is excited about it.
Woo!
But
he loves it.
If you look, Chewbacca looks a lot like Rufus in that.
Yes.
So
we're proud of that.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
But I kept going in a bubble because I was scared.
Yeah, that's the way you do.
Yeah.
Also, one thing we wanted to share with you, just because we were talking about what to share tonight, since I was kind of preoccupied during the weekend with work and all, we didn't really get a whole lot of chances to talk and discuss what we wanted to do, and so we were talking about it. And one of the things we talked about a while back was just sharing with you a little bit about a certain special individual that we have kind of come to love and appreciate.
Our favorite daughter.
Our favorite daughter? I hope Madison's not watching. So we are part of a, what would you call it? What is it?
An organization.
An organization, yeah. We joined as a contributor to an organization, World Vision, and it's very much, you probably heard of Compassion Ministries. It's very similar to Compassion. World Vision is another similar thing where you can donate each month, and it helps people in other countries less fortunate than we are. And what was it about? Was it 2 years ago?
No, it was almost 5 years ago.
Was it that long?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. It's been
Where
almost
has
5
the time
years.
gone? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I didn't realize it was 5 years ago.
Yes, it'll be 5 years in February.
Holy moly.
Right at Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so 5 years ago,
Yeah.
I remember the situation, I just don't remember the date.
Yeah.
You and I went to Kentucky
To the fight night.
to the Louisville, to the fight night, right? Hosted by Les and Leslie Parrott.
Yes, your man crush.
My favorite couple.
Yes.
And so after we went to the thing and they did their talk and everything, and then afterwards we were out in the foyer, and they had a bunch of materials set up, and of course they spoke about it a little bit during their talk about World Vision and how they've contributed to World Vision and really support it, and it's a great organization. Right. And you and I immediately kind of felt like, this is something that we should do.
We need to do.
I know your heart has really been on the adoption thing, and we've talked about that a little bit, and we have another couple that we're really close with that have adopted from other countries, We weren't in a situation where we could, do the adoption thing.
Right.
So the next best thing for us was to do this, and so we contributed, and they had a table set up, and they had little electronic cards or something,
Right.
and so you opened it up. It was real thick, it wasn't like a
Right.
like a Hallmark card or anything, but it had a little video screen in it, and when you open up the card, and it showed a little video of each individual child that you could sponsor.
Right.
And so we kind of gravitated towards one, and her name is Phoebe, right?
Yeah.
And you want to jump in? You can jump in anytime.
That's okay.
I'm hogging
You're
the
doing,
mic.
You're doing great.
I'm hogging the mic, the airtime.
As per usual.
But we gravitated towards Phoebe, and we said a little quick prayer about it, and decided that's what we wanted to do. So we've been sponsoring Phoebe every month for the past 5 years, and so we're going to show you just a quick picture.
Yeah.
Nope, not that. There she is.
Yeah.
That's Phoebe now. This is a picture from 2018.
Right.
Right. So she is, how old is she?
She's 9.
She's 9 now.
Yes. She'll be 10 in April.
She'll be 10 in April.
Yes.
And so it's just been a blessing.
But yeah, she sends us updates, and it's absolutely amazing to see how much she's changed. When we first started this process, she wasn't able to go to school. She was carrying water every day, and just hearing the updates since we've been sending the money, and just the fact that we sent extra money for her birthday, and she was able to have a birthday party for the first time, and just things like that. It's just the things that you take for granted here. That,
right.
I mean, your kids always have a birthday party. You don't even think
like
about,
who doesn't have a birthday party, right? But over there,
and
they don't have any extra to go around.
Right,
so
right. And so, just the things that we're able to bless her with, it's just, and you just think about, she's in Rwanda. And so, the money that we send for her goes toward her and her education. And the most recent update, she was able to, so she started not even going to school, and now she's leveled up in school. And it's so exciting for us to know that, we were able to be a part of that. And the update said that she's learning about God. And so that was so exciting for me.
Right.
To know that she's not, they're not just sending her to school, but they're teaching her about God too.
Right.
So, so the money goes to her first, and then her family, and then also the community, because they want to improve the community, and so it's such a blessing to be a little part of that.
I know probably at some point you and I will have another show talking about money and those types of things in marriage and relationships and things.
Right.
But I can tell you, over the past 10 years, I know myself, we both of us really have been under quite a bit of financial burden with credit card debt and that sort of thing. And over the past year, we've been able to alleviate a lot of that debt to the point where we feel like we could bless more.
Right.
And it's just an awesome thing that when you have more that you can give away, what a blessing that is to be able to do it. It feels so great to be able to help someone else. And so that's what we do. I've got a couple of pictures here of a couple of the cards, because every so often, right, she sends us little messages and cards.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can, yeah. incredible. It just does her heart so well to see that and to have it come back. And this is kind of what they send us every so often. They send pictures, and she writes little notes and things like that. And, you know, and
her pictures have definitely improved.
yeah. Yeah, I don't have this one in there just yet, but
the first several, she would just always draw a cow, and it was very disturbing. I was like, "That's not a cow."
Yeah.
What in the world?
But it's such a blessing.
Yes, yes.
I know that you know, in upcoming shows that we do, we'll probably, you know, maybe talk a little bit more about it, because you and I have discussed even taking a mission trip, going over there to visit her.
That would be incredible. They do, World Vision gives you the opportunity to do that, and that would just be incredible.
Right. So, World Vision is the organization I highly recommend if you're going to do something like that. You know, World Vision is a great one. Compassion is another one. Get involved, because we here in America, we take things for granted. And in other countries that are less fortunate than we are, we can really show the love of God by doing something just as simple as, and it's not much.
$35 a month.
Yeah, $35 a month. That's eating out once. You know, so yeah, I highly encourage that. Well, you want to talk real quick about our topic? You want to jump into our topic? As Lisa said before, our topic tonight is how pain can deepen your relationship. And it's not going to be a long topic, but it's something that I think is important. It's something that we have experienced in our own relationships. You and I both have been through some pretty tumultuous, is that a word?
Tumultuous.
Lots of turmoil. Okay, how about that?
There you go.
Lots of turmoil.
That's a word.
Right. In our previous relationships, in our previous marriage even, and we didn't necessarily choose to be divorced. It's something that was kind of pushed on us in a lot of ways, but it's something that we've had to deal with, and it's been very hurtful. We've seen even our kids go through the process of pain, but it can be used as an advantage. It can be an advantage that can help you deepen your relationship.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So one of the ways that it can help you is pain and loss from past relationships help you appreciate the ones that you have currently.
You're just having a problem
I'm
with that,
having
aren't
some
you?
issues here. I don't know what's going on, but
yes.
so maybe talk a little bit about from your perspective.
So I think that when we were talking about this earlier in the week, what I was kind of talking about was when you start out, you know, you're kind of starting out at a straight line. You know, when someone says I love you for the first time, you know, they're starting out kind of at a flat line.
It's more of a surface level.
It's kind of a naive, you know, I love you, but they don't really know what they're getting into. So that first I love you is very naive.
Well, especially if you don't know the person very well. Your love is more like, I feel this euphoric.
Right.
You know, man, you're attractive, or you're beautiful, or you're arm candy.
I love the idea of being in love, and I want to be in love, so I love you.
Right.
And so it's that first I love you, but then you get hurt, and you kind of get this little divot, and then you really have to work, and then that second I love you, it's a little bit harder to say, and you have to work at it. So when you get that second I love you, it comes at a price. So if you're that second person to get an I love you, it means a little bit more. And so really so excuse him. So if someone has really been through some stuff and has really felt hurt and has really had to dig themselves out of something, and then they can say I love you, you know that they really mean it. You know that there's commitment. You know that they know what that means. It's not just that I love you. There's really something there.
Right. I know there's a lot of people say, well, if you have a relationship or a marriage and you never argue, you never go through stuff, usually there's something wrong. And sometimes that's true. I'm not saying that it's like that for everybody. Most of the time, but for the majority of people, if you never go through stuff together, or if you've never gone through anything difficult,
right,
then it's harder to create that depth.
Right. As soon as you start to go through something, what's going to happen? You just don't know.
Right. Buddy,
you could have one of these.
You could have one of these. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you. What's his problem?
I know.
Does he need to go out? Okay, he's gonna go. He's gonna go bye-bye. So let's see. Let's create some stuff to talk about while she's away. Basically, if you. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you my story. My first marriage was not what I thought it was going to be. I had this idea in my head of what it should be, and I was totally committed to doing whatever I needed to do. I mean, basically, I gave up the career that I wanted in music. I sacrificed that. I got a real job. I mean, I was doing work in music, but I didn't have any insurance or anything like that. So I broke down and got a real job so that I could get benefits, health insurance, and there's some value in that. I'm not saying that was a horrible thing, but it was just something that I didn't anticipate doing. And so the vision that I had just it didn't work, and it was extremely rough for over 10 years. It was very, very rough, and so through those 10 years, I experienced failure after failure to connect and to communicate. And can you guys hear the dog? I'm trying to be serious here. When you came along, the relationship that I had with you was so different, and it just made me appreciate you that much more, because I'd been through all of that other stuff in the past. And so the stuff that didn't happen the way I thought it would happen the first time is happening now, because I know a little bit more. I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser. I hope I'm a little bit wiser.
Sometimes.
I'm still dumb sometimes. But, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much more. So, I don't know. That's my story. So that's the point number one that we wanted to make. Point number two is that feeling pain can help you to learn valuable lessons. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I think that the most important lesson that I've learned is to be patient, communicate, and I think that's, I think that we talk about that so much, and it's like beating a dead horse, but it's so important, is, you have to communicate, you have to communicate.
Right.
And it's because we have both been there. We have both had that lack of communication and
the lack of connection.
And if you don't have communication, then you're not going to have connection.
True.
And if you are sitting and the person next to you does not know what you need and does not know what you want, and you are not communicating, then
I would say even just the mere ability to be heard, the feeling that, I'm able to say something and you hear what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, you ask questions that don't make me feel.
He's about to fall down the stairs. I'm so sorry. He's pushing his kennel. I can hear it. So if I run, that's why. I'm so sorry.
Where was I?
I hear what you're saying.
Yes, you hear what I'm saying, and you don't. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, then you ask a lot of questions,
Right.
and you ask questions that don't make me feel like, well, I'm just an idiot or stupid or whatever. There's some mutual respect there, and hopefully you feel that I do that as well for you. Is that I give you the opportunity to voice your feelings and to talk about what how you feel, without any kind of what's the word I'm looking
Judgment.
for? Judgment. Yeah, without any judgment.
And there's also a lot of grace. I know last night, for example.
Uh-oh. What did I do last night?
No, it was me.
Oh.
You don't know what I'm talking about. I was trying to pay the hospital bill.
Mm-hmm.
And the app that I was using kept crashing, and it was so frustrating. And so I was very angry about that. And so Lon tried to intervene, and I did not want him to intervene. I wanted to just be angry at the app, and I just needed to be angry. There was nothing he could do about it because it was the app. And so he tried to say something to me, and so I just gave him the hand, and I was like, ah! And he gave me grace, and I appreciated it.
Well, and again, failure has enabled me to learn that
not to come back at me, not to what's going on.
I don't always have to fix whatever
Right,
it is or
right.
whatever. I can just
Just give
and
me
it's
that,
okay.
that it's okay for me to be mad that my phone's not working. It's okay for me to be frustrated, and it's okay for him not to be able to fix it. I'm just gonna be mad for a minute, and then about a minute? I mean, literally.
Yeah,
What?
it wasn't very
1
long.
to 2 minutes.
Couple minutes, or
and then we
whatever.
were playing a video game, and everything was fine. But
Right.
I just needed to be mad about it. I mean.
Well, the important thing about being mad is that you can be mad as long as you're not taking out your anger on the other person.
Right.
Like
right.
if you're angry at something and you
Which,
end up
right.
lowering the boom and hitting me in the face, not literally hit me in the face.
I probably would have if you had kept going.
or just slanderous remarks,
Right,
or belittling remarks,
Right.
then that would be something different. But but no, I mean, you know, you were just angry.
You probably
and you
would
were
have
just
had
like,
an iPhone shape right there if you had kept going. But
you're
you
just like, you're like, okay.
oh my
all right.
goodness, yes.
And, you know, and so, anyway. So that is point number 2. Feeling pain can help you learn valuable lessons.
Yes.
So the third thing that we're going to point out here is that pain brings us closer to God.
Yes.
I know in my own life, when I'm going through stuff, the natural tendency is to hit my knees.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate that sometimes that's what it takes, because God wants us to come to Him all the time. You know,
Right.
He just wants us to come to Him and enjoy life with Him. You know, and we do that. You know, but more often than not, when we feel pain, when we're suffering, when we're going through some stuff, you know, that's when we hit the floor.
That's true.
know.
That's true.
And so that can bring us closer to God, which in turn brings us closer together to each other.
Right.
Because we realize that we are not alone and that we can't do it on our own.
Right. Right.
We don't have all the answers, but we know the person who does have all the answers. So we rely heavily on Christ.
That's right.
So those are our 3 things. Again, there's a lot more that we could talk about. If you've got a question for us about maybe our past relationships or, you know, our current relationship, whatever you want to ask us, I just again want to invite you guys to send us an email, or you can message us on Facebook if you prefer that. Send us an email, and we'd love to correspond with you. Right?
Right.
Right.
All right.
That does it for our show this evening, guys. Thank you again so much for watching. We really do love you and appreciate you. And
Rufus didn't go down the stairs. I'm so happy.
I'm glad he didn't fall down the stairs. Yeah. And like I said before, we'll talk a little bit more in detail about Phoebe, you know, and maybe share with you as we get a little bit more detail into possibly going on the mission trip. I know it probably won't be this year though.
Right.
Because this year we've got another big event that's happening in our life, becoming grandparents for the first time.
Yes.
So that is kind of on the radar. But
What?
I know, right? But
I forgot all about that.
possibly next year though. And it is something that you have to really plan out way far in advance. So that's kind of on the radar a little bit further down the line. But we wanted you to share in the excitement and everything. So that's kind of where we are.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you again so much for tuning in and watching our video, and click like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. You know what to do.
Prescribe.
You know what to do. Help us get the message out, and until next week, you guys have a great